welcome back. In today's episode, we're continuing our journey through one of the most powerful stories in the Bible, the story of Noah and the flood. We're diving into Genesis chapter 7, where the rain finally begins to fall, and God's instructions to Noah become reality. But this isn't just about animals and giant boat. This chapter has deep lessons about preparation, obedience, and trusting God even when the world around you is falling apart. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a modern-day interpretation that makes sense for today's world. Something everyone can relate to, no matter your age or background. Then, we'll look at a real-life example of how this story still applies in our everyday lives. Finally, I'll leave you with a personal challenge, a call to action to help you reflect and take your next step forward. If you've ever felt like you're trying to do the right thing in a world that doesn't care, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Genesis 7 modern-day interpretation. God spoke to Noah and said, "It's time. Go into the ark with your entire family, because you're the only one I've seen living right in this broken world. Take with you 7 pairs of every type of clean animal, male and female, and 1 pair of every kind of animal that isn't considered clean. Also bring 7 pairs of every kind of bird, so life can continue after flood. In 7 days, I'll bring heavy rain that will last for 40 days and 40 nights. Everything living on the earth will be wiped out." Noah did exactly what God told him to do. At this point, Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters finally hit. He, his wife, his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives all went into the ark to escape the flood. As instructed, animals came to Noah in pairs, male and female, both clean and unclean kinds, along with birds and every type of creature that moves along the ground. Just as God said, the flood began 7 days later. On the 17th day of the 2nd month, everything broke loose. Underground springs burst wide open, and the sky unleashed endless rain. It poured nonstop for 40 days and 40 nights. That very day, Noah and his family, all 8 of them, entered the ark along with every kind of animal, wild animals, livestock, crawling creatures, and birds. 2 of every kind, male and female, came in Noah and went inside. Then God himself closed the door behind them. The rain didn't let up. Water covered the earth, and the ark began to rise, floating on the floodwaters. The waters kept rising, reaching even the highest mountains. They climbed so high, the tallest peaks were covered by over 20 feet of water. Every living thing on land was wiped out. Birds, animals, people, insects, everything that breathed air, nothing survived, except for Noah and those who were with him in the ark. And the flood waters covered the earth for 150 days. My modern-day interpretation. Genesis 7 shows us what happens when the world reaches a breaking point, and how God responds with both justice and mercy. Humanity had ignored God for too long, choosing violence and selfishness over love and truth. But even in the middle of all that, God saw one man, Noah, who was living right. And because of Noah's faithfulness, his family was given the chance to start over. This story isn't just about a boat and a flood. It's about preparation, obedience, and trust. Noah didn't argue or wait to see if things would get better. He listened and took action, even though it probably didn't make sense to the people around him. He prepared when others were partying. He built when others were mocking. And because of that, he and his family were saved from disaster. The details about animals and rain may sound distant from our modern world, but the heart of the story is still very real. When the world around you is out of control, will you live by faith or follow the crowd? Will you trust in something greater, even when it seems ridiculous to others? And then there's this powerful moment. After Noah obeyed, God shut the door. It's a reminder that God protects those who trust him and that he's not just watching history. He's guiding it. Life example. Think of someone today who decides to live differently in a culture that often encourages cutting corners, chasing fame, or staying silent about what's right. Maybe it's a teenager who refuses to cheat on a test, even when everyone else is doing it. Or a parent who works an honest job, teaches their kid values, and chooses faith over fast money. Like Noah, they're not flashy, but they're faithful. Now imagine that person building something behind the scenes. Maybe at a business, a nonprofit, a family, or even just strong character. At first, no one notices. People may even laugh or question their choices. But when life storms hit, and they always do, the people who prepare with wisdom, patience, and faith will stand strong, just like Noah and his ark. You're called to action. So what's your ark? Maybe it's your values, your family, your spiritual life, or the habits you're building now. Don't wait until the storm hits to get ready. Start building today. Prepare your heart. Protect your peace. Surround yourself with people who want to grow. Do what's right, even if you're the only one doing it. If the story speaks to you, don't just nod and move on. Take a step. Maybe it's reading more, praying, changing your circle, or making a hard but right decision. God still honors obedience and faith. And just like with Noah, it may not make sense now, but one day it will. Come back next time as we continue this journey, unpacking ancient stories with fresh eyes and discovering how they still guide us today. Your story isn't finished, and neither is this one. See you soon.